Okay, all right. Very excited about our win last night. I thought our guys played their best football game overall in all three phases, and it was really good. Helmet stickers today went out to Bo Nix on offense, 335 yards, two touchdowns through there, 56 yards rushing with a TD. Defensively, Jeremiah Denson with six tackles, one for loss. He had a sack. And also had a fumble recovery, really set the tone for our defense and special teams. Jacoby McLean with the recovery on the kickoff, and that was one of the big plays in the game, to be able to get the fumble recovery. And then I think we scored two plays later and gave us some breathing room. But like I said, overall, very pleased with our effort, especially coming off a big emotional road victory the week before. And they took care of business. And like I said, our goal is just to keep improving. And really, that's the simple message heading into this next game. Questions?
Seemed like yesterday that Bo got more opportunities to throw it downfield. Was that him being more comfortable, Seth being healthier, those guys, or something missing stages?
Well, I think it's all the above, and we were able to hit a few of those early, and just kind of opened things up, and it was good to see us hit some vertically. When we're able to do that, it opens up the run game better and just everything, and opens up the playbook. So that was really one of the bright spots, that we hit some things vertically down the field, and we were pretty efficient in the passing game.
Gus, how much impact has just having Schwartz on the field make? His being a threat to run and
Yeah.
all the things he can do?
Yeah, well, he provides a different element. He can make a lot out of a little. Even when he doesn't get the ball, he influences people, specifically on one of those touchdown runs out of our Wildcat, and he goes in motion out of the way, and it held four guys on that backside, So he's one of the impact players that, defenses, they know when he's in and where he's at.
The best offenses you've had here, it seems like it's taken a few games to figure out how all the pieces fit together.
Yeah.
Do you feel pretty comfortable with how all those pieces fit together right now?
I think there is something to be said for that. With our freshman quarterback, getting a feel for him, we're learning him every time he's out, and he's feeling more comfortable. And then we finally have all the pieces of the puzzle on the field. We hadn't had that until last week, and so now, we can start getting some consistency, especially in practice. Our quarterback hadn't had time to develop the timing that you really need, so we're kind of doing that as the season goes. So now that we got all the pieces of the puzzle, it really gives you more flexibility to call what you want to call.
With a guy as fast as Schwartz, does it take some time to learn how to deal with him because he's so different?
100%. That was one of the most encouraging things, is that deep ball right before half that Bo put it on the money, because he's so fast, and he hadn't been able to get those reps because of his broken hand in the cast until about 4 weeks ago, and now he can, he has a cast off, and so we've really worked hard in practice, and that was really good to see the timing, because he's a guy that has not normal speed, that it takes a while to develop that chemistry.
Did DJ Williams do enough to kind of move up the totem pole a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. He's finally healthy and got a chance to carry the ball, and you can see he's got something to him. He really has a wiggle, and he's got good vision. So we'll see where that goes. But it was really good to get him out there and let him touch the ball a few times, during the season.
It's been a while since you've been able to kind of not split them, but, put the reps out there with the running backs, where you're not having a 20, 25 carry guy the last 2, 3
Yeah.
games. Has that just something been a field thing for you? Have you gone in specifically, hey, you're going to get this snaps this time?
I think if you really look at the totality of our schedule and, everything that goes with it, we just made the decision that, hey, we're going to have to spread some carries out and keep our guys fresh, and specifically Booby's fresh for the second half of the season too. But it's been really good to give some other guys some carries, and I think they've responded well.
As you talked about the offensive line, was that as a complete game as those guys played all
I think so. They protected well. There's no doubt about that. They gave them time. They presented a couple exotic pressures, and I think our backs protected well. That's the best we've protected so far, and I think we did a good job in the run game too. Mixed in the gap with the zone. That really helped. And of course, like I said, when our quarterback keeps the ball just a few times, it changes everything.
How different, you kind of talked about that since really the second half of the Tulane game. How much has that made a difference for your offense?
It's made all the difference. That big third down and 1-2 run where he busted it back across the field, that just opens it up for later on. He made a really good decision on the touchdown run down there. He dove in the end zone, and that really opens things up for your tailback.
With the offensive line, they played some pretty good defensive line so far. It looks like Florida is another very talented.
Right.
What type of test are they going to have this week?
Oh, it's going to be a real test. There's no doubt. They got an excellent defense. They can really run. They're aggressive. Their defense coordinator is aggressive type coach. We're expecting a really good test.
Like you said, Schwartz changes things when he's out there in a similar way. Seth being healthier, and he got a lot of targets early on. How much does it kind of help Bo and just the offense?
Yeah, Seth's a guy that one-on-one can be covered, and he still has a chance to come down with the ball. And he's still not completely 100% healthy, but when he's on the field, it really changes things. And he's an impact player.
Gus, this is it'll be a really loud atmosphere. Saturday, probably louder than Texas A&M or anywhere. Is there anything you can do besides the noise things?
That's really what you do. Really the noise, and the great thing, we even did it last week. It's just, preparing for these road games that we have. That's really what we decided to do. We did it in fall camp, and hopefully that'll pay off, because we do understand it's going to probably be louder than our last, road game.
Talk about Bo being alone to keep the ball, but how much more flexible does that make you in terms of being able to scheme where maybe you don't even have to block a particularly good player because you're reading?
Yeah, and sometimes that's by design. It depends on how aggressive they are or whatever, but he gives you the ability to do that, and so far he's made really good decisions. Very rarely does he make a wrong decision, and he knows it right then when he does.
Wide receivers making progress with the downfield?
I think so. There was one or two that we talked about in film session that we still got to get corrected, but they're trying to play with more physicality. They understand angles and pads, pad positions of staying square, where the ball's going. So doing a better job, I think, overall. Probably had their best night as a group. Now we still got some areas to work on, but it is getting better.
It seemed like that was Prince Davis' best game. Was he just feeling better with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think he did have a good game, and did a very good job.
How important has Sal kind of been? You talk about downfield. It seems like he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, Sal has gotten a lot better, and of course he had a couple catches. I think that was a great catch he made on that third down and long on the other sideline, and went up and got it. And Bo really threw a good ball, and that was one of the better plays of the game.
Gus, how different is practice when things are going like they're going now, as opposed to when they're not going so well?
Yeah, the challenge is when things are going good, you can't let up. You can't let. We just talked about it. You can't let up. You got to put the hammer down even more. You got to expect more out of yourself. You got to try to be perfect on the practice field. Don't be satisfied with just good. So really, that's really the message, and and our guys are buying into it, and we need to have another really good week of practice. And last week, I thought we had a good week of practice, not a great week of practice, but we need to get to a point where we have great weeks of practice. So we still got some work to do, but the goal is to improve each day and each week.
You mentioned yesterday cutting back on the self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
What can you do specifically in practice to make sure that those don't happen?
Yeah, well, that was really the only negative, that we had, 5 or 6 balls on the ground. One was debatable, okay, but, there was, that's why I said 5 or 6, but that's too many. And really, that's the sore spot, man. We got to correct that. That's not it. That'll keep us from our goal, and we got to get that corrected. And we're starting on that tonight, and there's all kinds of things you can do. And we got to coach it better, we got to teach it better, and we got to motivate better, and we're going to hold on that ball better, I'll tell you that.
Yes, it looked like your seconds and team and third team got to play against their first team. Does that help? Get some video on those guys?
No, there's no doubt. And get those guys a chance to play in the fourth quarter and against a quality opponent. And, that does nothing but help your depth. And, we've talked about a couple areas that, we need more depth. And so that was good for those guys to play. And it's also, good for your team morale too, get a chance to get those guys to play.
You faced Dan Mullen for 10 years
Yeah.
now as a coordinator or head coach. How's he the same? How's he different?
I got a lot of respect for Dan. He's one of the best coaches in our league, and he always has a good plan. And his teams are always, tough to prepare for, and they're going to be prepared, so it ought to be a good one.
After 5 games, how would you evaluate the position you made for Nick Coe at outside linebacker and his performance?
Yeah, Nick's battled a couple of nicks and bruises, and he's played some different positions, and, he's coming on, and, I'm seeing him improving.
Is it kind of weird that for as long as you've been in Auburn, either as coordinator or head coach, that you've only faced Florida once in that stretch?
Say it again.
Is it weird that for as long as you've been in Auburn, either as coordinator or coach, that you've only faced Florida once?
Yeah, and it was here. It was here, and this will be my first time to ever go to Florida. I've been every other place in our league but Florida, so this will be a first. And looking forward to it, and but yeah, that is pretty unique.
You wear visors because of Spurrier, right?
I do.
And so being down there would be, we saw it.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, that will be pretty cool.
They're wearing Spurrier throwback uniforms too.
Are they?
Yep.
It's homecoming too.
How do you feel about that? Being homecoming?
We hadn't been homecoming too many times, so I'll tell you after the game.
Have you had a chance to check out the quarterback, Kyle Trask, and kind of see what his journey was?
Really, we'll start our film study directly tonight, but heard nothing but good things about him. Thank y'all.